Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to the Apocalyptic Optimath channel. I am your host, Seth, um, a host of many names and no names. I am also the nameless. Um, so, interesting development. Kamala Harris is bombing. Um, people are waking up. People are waking up a little bit. They're taking their time, which is fine. I say that, yes, begrudgingly, but it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. Uh, People are waking up. I'm waking up too. I'm waking up too. Seeing a lot of disturbing things, but are they really disturbing, or is it just more proof of your power? Like because at the end of the day, if you have to get that deep into somebody's life in order to hinder him, is because that's a powerful being. That's a powerful person. That's a very powerful person. Um, that should not be underestimated or trifled with in the wrong ways. So I'm waking up to my own power. I'm waking up to my own sense of self. Um, I guess following Lucifer is a lot harder than it looks. I don't know if it's because I'm it. Well, no, it's not following Lucifer that's hard. It's what I asked for that's hard. Um, because at the end of the day, you're not a result of your environment. You're not a result of your experiences. You're a result of the way you think, right? Because two different people can have the same experiences, but not the same things is going to happen in the experience that they're living through, right? Like two people can sell drugs. Two different people can sell drugs. A Chinese person can sell drugs, and a black person or a white person can sell drugs. They're both having the same experience. But the Chinese guys might sell a lot of drugs, and the white guy might sell a lot of drugs, a little bit of drugs, and not a lot, So they're both having uh, a different experience within the same experience, right? So um, so you have to understand that uh, in life, the way you think is going to determine what is going to happen in your life, right? So, you know, um, I'm realizing that I have asked for something. Because they always say, "Ask and you shall receive," right? No pun intended, no offense meant, but that's what they say. And in some metaphysical fashion, it is true, right? There's a very overly complicated um a reason why that is. And I'm realizing today that it's not necessarily about Lucifer. No offense meant, but it's not necessarily about Lucifer. It's also about me, because the way I think brought me to this conclusion. Right? I don't change. Right? So the way I think brought me to this conclusion. So the things I wanted, the things I'm aiming for, brought me to this place, right? And that's where Lucifer comes in. Pardon the pun. And that's where Lucifer comes in, and now you're in something. Now you're in something else. Now you're in a now you're in a you know, you're realizing that um in order to get more of what you want, you're gonna have to go through this experience with this person, right? So it's very interesting, you know, when especially when you're thinking about like Christianity. And I started out as a Christian, and you're sitting there, and that's another term, another euphemism, dare I say, that still makes a lot of sense. Like all road leads to Rome. So you start out as a Christian, and then but you start out as a Christian, and then you realize that you're missing something. You realize that you're missing something. You realize that you're missing something, and you don't know what that thing is, but you know it's not there. Yeah, empty cups, half empty cup, a cup half empty, right? You know, let me segue into something here, because I've seen some people have been watching my Twitch and enjoying my channel and stuff like that, and I guess some people still take some of my opinions uh moderately seriously, you know, or to them it's something to wonder about, it's something to think about, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I really don't mean that in a condescending way. I actually appreciate that you actually think what I'm saying makes sense. I think I'm very lucky if that happens. I mean, that's. I mean, as a scientist, like you're a scientist and you develop a new theory, and then you show it to people. Like you don't want people to think your theory is trash, you know. So, but at the same time, you're aware that there's like a plethora of scientists that have done so much more than you have, and then but you're kind of like, well, I mean, shit, fuck it. I mean, you know, what can I do? You know, I discovered the thing. I discovered the thing. It hasn't been talked about. I'm the only one that thought about it. So, you know, I got to try to say something. I can't just sit here and say nothing just because a bunch of other people did it before me. That doesn't make any sense. Where's your sense of adventure, man? That doesn't make any sense. So you got to try it, and you try it, and people actually have a positive reaction. Because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that feels that way. I'm pretty sure there's like billions of people on the planet that feels exactly that, like that. And so, uh, And most of us do get a negative reaction for whatever reason, whether it's jealousy, envy, blah, 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 or maybe your shit was actually trash. But like everybody like expects, they don't want a negative response, but they kind of expect a negative response, and that's just normal. Like, it's normal to have that idea surface to the shore. Of course you're gonna push it back and you're gonna go forward and do it anyways, but it's a worry that floats up. It's not like, there's some things you do in life where nothing floats up to the shore. There's no doubts or things like that. You just do it. But sometimes there's some things that makes things rise. And so anyways, you so it's interesting. So I that's how much I appreciate uh people actually considering, just the thought that you're considering what I'm saying is fantastic, right? So anyways, as I was gonna say, so this is a free magic secret. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just did that. I'm sorry, Mr. Zero. Uh, I just did that. I'm not gonna do it again. you know. But so well, maybe I will. So not too much though, because I'm not gonna steal your shit. Um, that's Mr. Zero free magic secret YouTube channel thing. Anyway, whatever. So as I was saying, um, this is a free magic secret here, but think about it like this: you're creating a character on a computer, and like I said, this is the year of the puppets. So I'm gonna take a L though for taking this. That's a an offense that I'm committing right now, because I'm gonna tell you one of my tricks. And um but that's how much I appreciate all of you that actually listen to my video, and actually listen to my video, right? Like, anyway. So right, so you're creating a character on a computer, right? And you have esoteric knowledge in your past life, right? So it can all make sense, so it can all be wrapped up in a knot, so you understand what I'm saying here. So, but in the past, you studied esotericism, and in the past of studying esotericism, you understand that there are such things as a principle of the cup. As I have explained in my recent videos, there's the theory of the cup, right? That the body is an empty vessel, and or the body is a vessel, and things can come in and out of those vessels. So now, flash forward a bunch of years later, you forgot about that. You smoked a bunch of weed, dated a couple girls, and now you're working at a regular job. No, so anyways, you create a character, and how do you create a 3D character? Well, you gotta create a character mesh model, right? You gotta make a mesh, right? So now you build a mesh, and the mesh is, it's just you gotta use a plane. You gotta put the character on a plane, and then you gotta use a mesh, and then you want it to be 3D. Okay, so now you gotta wrap around. You gotta make a wrap of. You gotta make a model, right? So, but inside the model is empty. There's nothing inside of the model, right? So there's no soul in a character model, or is there? Anyway, but that's for later on. But there's no soul in a character model. There's nothing in there. There's no organs. There's no blood. There's nothing, right? So like Is it hard to believe that you can? Is it that hard to believe that you can't make a character model have life if it's empty? There's nothing in there. You can put whatever you want in there. You could put a dog. You can make a model and like put a hole in the face and put a dog in there. That's alive, technically speaking. Well, it's moving. It's not alive, but it's moving, right? It wouldn't move if there was nothing in there, right? So, so you can say like, oh well, implementing codes is the same thing. Well, not necessarily, no, because the code is affecting everything outside of the mesh that you've created. It's not creating what's inside of the mesh because there's nothing inside of it. So you can't control something that's nothing, right? You're not There's nothing in to control in the first place, right? So what's going on is like you're when you're scripting, when you're coding, you're uh affecting the reality outside of that character, because at the end of the day there is no character. The character does not exist, right? So when you're playing a video game, you know, but how do you do that? Well, you gotta I don't know if uh I don't get paid enough to say these things, but I will tell you that you gotta use your cup, right? Just like that temperance card that people think is so awesome, which I think it's the most horrible card in the tarot deck. The last thing you want to see in a reading is temperance, right? That's because that represents obstacles and patience. You have to hold back, and if you have to hold back, it's because there's something in your way that might be too much for you or whatever, or too strenuous or whatever, and so when you don't want that card on your reading. What you want to see is the devil, because the devil represents uh vices, right? It represents sin and vices, and you want to see that. You want sin and vice in your reading, because a life without sin and vice is fucking boring, right? Everybody's James Bond at the end of the day. Everybody's James Bond at the end of the day. That's what I'm trying to fucking say. Everybody's James Bond, and if you don't want to be James Bond, I don't know what the fuck you want to be. Right? Like, if you don't want to be James Bond, I don't know what you want to be, bro. Like, everybody James Bond at the end of the day. So James Bond's spirit is the devil's, not Michael. Shit, I said it. God damn it. Fuck. Not temperance. Not an angel. You don't want it. The angel's boring. The angel, does nothing. The angel just looks and doesn't touch. Right? Like, you can barely talk. So the angel's life is pretty fucking boring, if you ask me. Like, you want vice. Not a lot, not too much. You gotta too much of anything is bad. But that's why it's the devil. The devil is his own judge, jury, and executioner for himself too. He's counted the devil counts himself accountable. He doesn't have a choice. That's what you represent. That's who he is. That's the complication, the difficulty, the conundrum, the puzzle, the labyrinth of what is the devil. Right? What is Lucifer? What is Satan? Right? So the devil might come at you horny, but that's just his look. But it's not just his look too. There's a reason why he looks horny. But the thing about the devil is you're going to get whether you see him on his good side or whether you see him on his bad side, what you're gonna see is his horns. And to me, that is an example of truth and honesty. You're not hiding yourself. You're not hiding your alleged ugliness, your stench. You're not hiding it. You're not trying to deceive anybody. If you don't know what I am just by looking at me, then kill yourself. Like, no, but seriously, fucking kill yourself. Like, if you like, come on, Doug. Like, I don't need to tell you anything. Like, that's ridiculous. It's absurd. Doesn't make any sense. So, anyways, back to our apples. So, you gotta do it just like the temperance card. You have to, spill your cup into the other. Now, everybody that's been listening to my channel is going to understand right away what I just said. Anybody else? I'm not gonna suggest you to go watch these videos because that is one of my fucking tricks. This is one of my secrets that I like to use. Be careful when you're using that because that shit can fuck you up. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's very dangerous, and I wouldn't suggest doing that unless you're very experienced because it's gonna freak you the fuck out. And you might come and kill me because you're gonna think that I'm actually the fucking devil. And so be fucking careful if you do that. By the way, be very fucking careful. As a matter of fact, I would not suggest, but I'm pretty sure anybody that watches my channel is pretty much experienced in magic in some shape or form. Whether they have seen some weird freaky shit or not. But I'm more used to weird freaky shit than most people, obviously. But but I'm pretty sure that some of you are capable of handling it. It might freak you the fuck out, and you might not want to do it that much. But and that's normal. That's very normal. I've been doing that for decades, so I don't really care. Well, years, not decades. Well, at least a decade. So I don't really, it doesn't really bother me as much today. Yeah. So it is kind of it's negative. It's dark. It's dark magic. It's something you should not do. Something you should not practice. uh you know uh or not, or not, it depends. If you understand that everything you're seeing is fake, it's just bullshit, and some of it might be that's doing that to you. It might be ideas that you have in the back of your mind that's just reflected back at you in a horrific way. Like you're good, right? Because that can happen. It's because it's like when you're doing that, I mean, you can manage um what you put into the character, but like I said, you have to either watch my old videos to understand that, or not, or do more research, or practice more, or ask spirit to tell you what exactly I was meaning, and they're probably gonna show you. I'm pretty sure they would. Um, but uh, yeah, no, you can make a perfect character. But it depends on you. I'm not a perfect person, and I like playing God. So I let my creation have their own persona. I don't even invent a persona for my characters because that would take too much effort, and so I just go along with what I'm presented with, and I give him what he already has or what I think he already has. Um, yeah, and but you can make a perfect character. I mean, you can really dictate um what that character is, and it's not about the character necessarily. It's just you that wants to play with toys, basically. you just want you just want to play with toys. So so yeah, that's a little demonic trick that you can do. Some voodoo, some Haitian voodoo, demonic Haitian voodoo trick that you can do uh to animate your puppets. Um, and they're thought forms too. At the end of the day, you can actually you can do a lot with something like that. Actually, you can do a lot actually with something like that. You can actually like you can create a thought form out of a character. In a video game. And send them out into the world to do your bidding too. So, but that takes a little bit of effort, and some people might feel fucking ridiculous doing that too. I don't feel that way because I use everything in my vicinity to do magic with. Like I don't, you know, to me nothing is separate. Like somebody well said the other day on my Twitch channel, everything is magic. So, I don't see it as okay, this is a toy and that's a tool, that's a serious tool, and that's this, that. Like everything is the same to me. Uh, kind of. Well, you have to see it the same if you want the magic to work. If you don't see everything as the same, then the magic's not gonna work. Well, it's gonna be harder. You're gonna put obstacles in your way. You are going to put obstacles in your own way. Like so. Like you can't say, oh, I can do magic with that, but I can't do magic with this. Like you're the one saying that you can't do magic with this, but you can do magic with this. Like, but you have to not think that you can't. Anyways, whatever. I think you get the point. So I'm gonna respect your time again, and I'm gonna stop the video right there because I think I said enough. And I was talking about something important at the beginning though. Um, but it's kind of relevant to the the doll thing that I was saying. But um, what was I saying in the beginning? Because I can't. I think we went a little bit further than what I expected to, and that shit. And but so anyways, and so Lucifer comes into later into your life, and you're kind of like you feel like you're missing something. Your cup is empty. Your cup is half empty because you already believe in Christianity, right? So, but you're still half empty because the only thing you know is Christianity. You don't know anything else, right? Well, you do a lot of the things, but I mean, like you don't know it. Knowing in the old romanticized version of knowing, not the literal face value aspect of it, right? So you don't know anything else but Christianity because that's yeah, he shall look at me and I will tell you that I have not known him. Bullshit, you know what I mean? Um, this is uh. So I don't know, like, what am I fucking saying? I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is basically it's funny how you think that you know something And then later on in life, you kind of have to come to the conclusion that there's more to know about the thing, you know. So it's very interesting. It's interesting. You know, it's funny how that happens. You know, I just basically that's all I'm trying to say. And yet again, like I said, Lucifer comes in. You start working with him, and you start realizing a whole bunch of more stuff. And some of these stuff, a lot of these things are amazing, and you know, some of these things aren't either. Not too great. Uh, but it's I'm grateful. At the end of the day, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for knowing. I'm grateful for knowing. I'm grateful for knowing. I'm grateful for seeing. Um, you know, I'm not trying to give any gratitude right now because I don't need to and I shouldn't. But it's still interesting, man, to be like born in a time where you're having a front row seat to the corrupted elites getting their shit kicked in. And to make matters worse, you're one of the people kicking their shit in. It's fucking amazing. It's shit. It's almost a fucking miracle, if you ask me. If you believe in that sort of thing, it's a grandiose, it's a grandiose way of life that we're developing here, that we're stepping into slowly, patiently. And I have to commend white people for being this patient. For real. Like I have to commend white people for being this patient. I'm not that patient, you know. Like, and I don't know if all that patience is a good thing. I mean, I guess it is, but you know, it never hurts to pick up the slack a little bit. So it's an interesting time. Um, you know, it's an interesting time. Like these people think that we're going into slavery, but you know, we're not. We're not gonna go into slavery. And spirit is with us. Spirit is not gonna let us go into slavery. The gods are on our side. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. There's nothing not to appreciate about that. And we're seeing proof every day of it. I mean, like I mean, they're trying to spotlight other people, but it keeps just turning around on them. And it's gonna keep turning around on them because they represent lies. Like you can't fight lies with more lies. You can't fight lies with more lies. You can't fight fire with fire. You know. I mean, shit. They're swimming. They're trying to swim out the water, and I guess they're good swimmers. I'm gonna give them that. I guess they're good swimmers because I'm pretty sure a lot of these people are gonna uh, continue on unscathed. You know, but I don't know, man. Um, it's not looking good for them. It's not looking good at all. And I think they realize it, and that's why they're. I mean, that's why they're hype right now, bro. Like, cause they know they're not gonna make it. They're not gonna make it, man. Um, and it's been a long time coming. I mean, it's been a long time coming. It's they had their chance. We gave them a space to talk. We gave them a space to act. We gave them freedom to do whatever they wanted, and they squandered it. So fuck it. This ain't about revenge. It might be about revenge to me, but it's not about revenge. It's not. You're the architect of your own demise. You're acting irrational. You're doing irrational. You have irrational behaviors. You do crazy things that are completely useless, like shooting a man on the 2024 election is completely out of hand and out of pockets. You're not doing shit. You're not representing nothing. You're not going to war with nobody. You're not trying to steal plutonium. You're not trying to fucking raise the taxes up and blow the fucking stock market out of the waters. You're not doing none of that shit. You're just worried about fucking trannies and kids and the other people's children, wanting to fuck other people's children and shit and garbage. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Not doing shit. So shooting a man when you're not doing nothing is craziness. That doesn't even make sense. I don't even know how you got to that point. like, like for real. Like I don't know what was the thought process of you sitting there watching some kiddie porn and shit and be like, "Fuck it, I'ma shoot him." Like I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to me. Like I don't know. George Bush wanted to steal gold in Iraq and shit. So I don't know. Like at least George Bush wanted to do something. Like that's gold. I mean, like it's something. It's fucking gold, right? Or fucking petrol, right? Like that's something. That's oil. That's worth a lot of money. That's black gold, right? That's something. Right, it's dangerous. It's toxic. It's not even good for the environment. Like that's something. That's some serious shit. There's some serious shit. There's some serious shit. Some serious issues. Wanting to be a drag queen is not a fucking issue. It's not a political fucking issue, bro. If you want to wear women's clothes, fuck it. All right, it might be weird. Okay, the society might think it's weird, but it's not a fucking political issue, bro. Like it's not. And okay, shit, it's not. I mean, it's okay to talk about it for 5 minutes. It's okay to talk about it for 5 minutes. You know, we don't have to be that fucking closed minded or narrow minded about shit, right? It's okay to talk about it for 5 minutes, but it's not a fucking revolution. What kind of garbage is that? Who fucking gives a shit? And quite frankly, I mean, like, I think these fucking people made a bad name for themselves because I don't fucking care that you're gay. That shit don't bother me. And I'm not the only one that's like that in the fucking world. So go fuck yourselves. Well, you're already doing that. Obviously. No offense, no pun intended, of course. But seriously, I mean, like, you know, who gives a shit? I don't. What? So what I'm trying to say is, if it was really that big of a fucking issue in the first fucking place, if it was that bad, then some people would have fucking stepped up, and it wouldn't have necessarily been gay people. So whatever this nonsense is, whatever this freaking bullshittery is, it's beyond nonsense. You know, that does not deserve this clown show that you guys are pulling right now. Does not deserve a bullet. No one deserves to get shot for this shit. I don't even feel like shooting you. All you want to do is be gay. I don't give a fuck. Like, I might feel like shooting you for other things, like the child trafficking and shit like that, of course. But if you just gay, I don't give two flying fucks. Like, I couldn't. That's the least of my fucking worries. I got a cell phone bill I can't pay, and it's only $50. you know, like that's fucking worrisome to me. That's fucking worrisome because I can't call no fucking body, nigga. My cell phone don't work. I'm happy you're fucking gay and you're fucking doing all your gay stuff, but my cell phone don't work right now, bro. That's way more important right now as a serious issue to me. Is how am I gonna pay my fucking cell phone bill, bro? That's what's fucking important to me. I don't give a shit about no damn gay people. God damn it. Anyways. Pardon my language, pardon me for saying. Anyways, I guess I'm gonna stop the video right here. See you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Peace out.